work, and particularly the work that did well, was that there were a lot of partnerships that took on a more purposeful approach. And I wanted to ask you tonight which ones were your favourites. Anna, I know you had some thoughts in this area.
Yes, well, I'm going to start with Brookbond, that I think was mentioned earlier. So this was an absolutely phenomenal campaign, my personal favourite. And for those of you who aren't aware of it, it was the Indian market. And essentially the whole brand proposition is around the taste of togetherness. Now, brilliant what they did. They really sort of drove the zeitgeist, because the Supreme Court in India had only really recently legalised the status of the transgender community. So it was an incredibly brave move by Brookbond, a fairly traditional tea in many senses, to actually partner with the transgender community and to launch the first ever transgender band in India, and probably the world for all we know. So not only was it culturally incredibly brave of them to do that in a market like India, in terms of the big idea itself, in other words, launching the first transgender brand and bringing it to life through not just one, but 6 different music videos in collaboration with very famous music directors as well as singers across the Bollywood landscape. So creatively, it was brilliantly brought to life. And some of the songs actually were pretty amazing. The Indian version of Happy by Pharrell, for those who want to go and have a look at it, I loved it. But as well as obviously these incredible partnerships with Bollywood, ensuring the distribution, the credibility was right, what was utterly seamless about it was the amplification. So partnering obviously with YouTube, but also very smartly with the most relevant and popular live streaming mobile music apps, and then supported by phenomenal PR and influencers. So in short, it was for me absolutely standout. The bravery, the fact it was tapping into a cultural revolution. In fact, they weren't just, if you like, tagging along with it, but they were help driving, if you like, this cultural revolution within India. And the media amplification of the partnerships was utterly seamless. So that's my personal favourite.
Now, Dan, I know that one of your favourites was the John Lewis and Age UK partnership that again had a sort of purpose-led feel to it. So it's about raising awareness of elderly people at Christmas time. What was it that impressed you about that, specifically from a partnerships angle?
And I'll talk about that in a second, but I just wanted to echo what Anna said about the Brookbond stuff. I think what was amazing about that was it was just brilliant content. I was judging it, sitting on my laptop at home watching it, and my wife saw it over my shoulder, and she just saw the Pharrell track that you said. She was just like, wow, that's brilliant. And I think you can't we can get all complicated about effectiveness, etc. If the content's not good, then it isn't going to work, and that was just an amazing example of content. Coming on to the John Lewis work, so I must admit, when I saw that entry kind of come up, I thought, oh God, here's another John Lewis campaign, right? They win everything, yeah, they won Christmas, amazing. But I actually, rather than just pinning it, I decided to read the entry. What was really interesting here was that the Age UK entry, it was brilliantly written, so essentially they partnered with John Lewis for the Man in the Moon Christmas campaign, I'm sure you're all aware of. But what they did brilliantly in the entry is that they showed that basically, you know, Age UK is a charity that struggles. People in the UK, you know, cancer charities at the top of the list. We give very generously to any animals we see in distress. When it comes to old people in our country, quite frankly, a lot of us don't really give a shit, and we really struggle to, you know, to give donations on the same scale. So they'd run a number of different normal campaigns of standard advertising, and it just had done nothing to cut through. They noticed, and I think it was a partnership within OMD of brands within their stable, they noticed the synergy between the Man in the Moon script that's being written and Age UK, and that key insight which, you know, Christmas is a crucial period for old people. It's a time at which they're most lonely, it's a time at which, quite frankly, they need our help most. And by basically aligning with a power brand that was John Lewis and the size of that campaign, they were able to hugely step change the impact that they'd been able to achieve for any standard comms alone. So the entry did an amazing job at showing how levels of awareness and crucially donations, so the actual actions that were created as a result of people seeing that campaign were really huge. And the last point to make on that is that I think that effectiveness was delivered not just because they were part of the TV ad, and that worked, and there was spin-off content that they created. But they did what every great partnership does, which is run that activity completely through the line. So they were able to mobilise John Lewis store staff to raise donations. They created merchandise that was on sale in John Lewis stores. They basically created a partnership that had huge amounts of value beyond just the kind of standard partnerships. So it's one of those examples where showing good partnerships you do, where 1 + 1 equals like 64 or something like that. It's really good.
And one of our judges actually said it made him call his grandmother, so there's an effective campaign for you. Tim, I'd love to hear your views. Obviously, Synergy specialises in sponsorship, so I'd like to hear more on the sponsorship side now. Which of the campaigns really did it for you?
Do you know what? I'm going to talk about Brook Bond. We do a lot of work in music, and that was already talked about some of the great, but launching a band, a T brand, launching a band and making a success of it, that was just astonishing. I thought that was just brilliant the way they executed as well. I think the other thing is, I read a lot of these type of things, and one thing that was really good about it is the way that brand's been committed to causes over the years. This isn't something they just started to do. They've walked the walk and talked the talk for a long time. So I thought that was just a stunning bit of work. But the thing that's done is launching a band into a market that big and making a success of it, given the issues that they were confronting, was just stunning. It was brilliant.
Any others that stood out for you in terms of the sponsorships?
Well, the John Lewis thing, again, these two were the standout, and we'll talk about kind of what we could do what things could be done to improve entries for people that could do this year. But the results of that were amazing, because actually, whether you call it sponsorship, whether you call it partnerships, whatever the hell you call it, there's got to be a great result at the end of it, and there's got to be something really true and credible in the insight that brought the two together. And that was the thing with the John Lewis thing. That could have easily not worked, but tonally it was really great. The way they actually brought the two together was fabulous. So that's something that we worked on really hard. How authentic will this be? How real is it? How true is it? It felt really true.
Okay, so for the members of our audience here who might be thinking about entering the 2017 WARC Media Awards, if they've got an amazing partnership or sponsorship, what advice would you give to them? What do you look for in a really strong partnership or sponsorship?
So, well, it's such a good question and so hard to answer in a limited amount of time. So I would say a couple of things. Firstly, authenticity. What will make people care about this? Will it make them do something? Is there so much competition out there for people's time and attention? And then secondly, so I would say about a good strategy. A good strategy, it doesn't just tell you what you're going to do, it also tells you what you're not going to do. Because so often with these things you can try and do a ton of things, but if you say, right, we're going to be really single-minded about what we're going to do here, everything that we do will be around those key objectives. That always works.
Anna?
I think one of the most important things that we all agreed on, which was quite rare in itself, was the importance of the big idea. So there's been lots of debate about whether you need a big idea in media, and we were unanimous in the fact that we did. So there were a number of awards entries that we thought had merit, but a lot of them actually didn't have an idea within themselves, but it was more about amplifying the TV advert, the above the line idea, rather than being a true big idea in terms of the media partnership itself. So in terms of advice, we are looking at something that really can only be delivered through a media partnership and is not an amplification of the TV ad. So that's, I would say, a top tip from all of us.
Okay. Dan, let's finish off.
Very simple point. So we were judging sponsorship and content, and most of the entries didn't have a link to any content that you could actually see, so that made it pretty hard to judge whether it was good or not. So that would be one of the. Does that make And then last bit, I think just building on to Anna saying, I'm sick and tired of people thinking about sponsorship and content and partnerships as being like the addition to a schedule that happens at the end. If we believe in this stuff, it needs to be front and centre, it needs to be driven and focused on business growth. And I think, you know, some of the stuff from M&M's, which is what I think Casey's going to talk about later, was absolutely amazing because basically they're a big bad FMCG brand who you would think kind of would be wary of this space, but they jumped into it with both theme and kind of put their commitment there, and it transformed kind of the performance of that campaign. So kind of big and bold, and they set off for half hours, which was